Welcome everyone to the Kendall Report. Just want to thank all of you that have signed up for the TradingView following. There's no content up there yet, but there will be plenty of content coming out. I need a few more days as I'm getting up to speed with this new tool and the new process that I'm putting together. So hang with me just a little bit, but go ahead and subscribe so when I work on this weekend, you'll have some opportunity, some of the information I plan on putting out there. It's going to take probably a week or so to get this thing up to speed, but I have a lot of plans for that. So thanks again for following me on TradingView. Let's go ahead and get into tonight's video. As you know, Wednesday I do a live stream. I will be on time tomorrow doing it at 1:30 New York time. We'll go through a full spectrum of things, and I will start to review and use some of the new tools that are going to be really useful in helping us to further understand what I believe is going on in the markets. And as we come into Wednesday, it's going to be all about the Fed. There's nothing else really going on. I talked about this in last night's video that I thought the markets would be a little bit hesitant ahead of time. There was a possibility we could see a surge, but there was nothing out there. Everybody was waiting for the earnings to come out, and we did see Microsoft come out pretty much neutral. Google was a positive report, but markets backed off a little bit. Both of these stocks are down. Most of the big stocks that came out yesterday sort of missed for the most part, but it was not material because everybody is focused on Wednesday and the Fed. We'll be in a live stream when the Fed's announcement comes out, so we'll be able to look at that real time. As we look back on yesterday, S&P was down 0.02. Year to date, the S&P is now up 11.5. NASDAQ was down minus 0.3 yesterday. Year to date, NASDAQ's up 9.3, and the Russell was up 0.1. And year to date for the Russell is back at 16.5. What's interesting though is the NASDAQ was only up about 1.5% earlier, so the spread and the differential between the Russell and the NASDAQ has actually narrowed substantially. It doesn't have quite the lead that it had earlier in the year. Also yesterday we saw financials, energy, industrials fare pretty well, and they were actually the underlying bid in the markets that kept things reasonably stable. The other thing that was released yesterday was the Case-Shiller Index, the real estate pricing index, up 11.9% year over year. Real estate is just on fire, and I don't see that changing. We continue to see lumber and other building materials continue to surge higher. I'll go through some of these things in tomorrow's live stream. As I talk about every night, and I'll go through the details here in a minute, our database is also stabilized here. So everything has come into a neutral phase. Nothing's going to make a move ahead of the Fed. So let me get things set up for Wednesday morning before the live stream. So let's go ahead and take a look at the charts and see what they're telling us for Wednesday's opening. As I review the WaveTech database, as I mentioned in the opening comments, there wasn't a lot going on. About 485 buy signals, about 300 sell signals. There was a slight uptick. We're at 59.60% bullish right now. We're now watching for that 62% level to be penetrated, and I do expect to see that happen over the next several sessions. Also, as I mentioned in opening comments, this database is going to continue to move higher. As I mentioned in last night's video, I can see it getting up to maybe 78 to over 80% in this particular sequence. As we begin looking at the E-mini futures, overnight we are seeing a slight bid. We're up 5 handles. We're trading near yesterday's high, 41.84 last. The high so far tonight, 41.85. We did print up to 41.92, so that will be your pivot point, and I suspect that we will challenge some of these numbers today. As we look at the PPMs, PPM1 up a plus 0.16, PPM2 0.26, and PPM3 0.20. So we're seeing a slight acceleration across the board. Let's go over and look at TradeStation, look at the market grid. As we look at the market grid for today, we'll see that S1 is 41.70, the low overnight 41.78. So I'm looking for an S1, an R2 level, which would be a new high, the possibility of printing the R3 level, which is 4206. I still look for this 4200 level to be challenged here in the next day or so. I would suspect with the Fed's announcement we may see some excitement, but as usual, the S1, R1 levels are the pivot levels for today when we're in this type of narrow configuration. So if we do penetrate through S1, look for 4161. Penetrate through R1, look for a minimum of 4197, a possibility of moving to R3 at 4206. We look at the SPX. It's in a similar pattern. One of the things that has happened for today, we're seeing the market grid narrow, which is oftentimes suggests we could see a challenge of the 10-day moving average, which is 4164. Yesterday's close 4186. That would be very possible just due to this contracting of the market grid. So as we look at the grid for today, S1 is 4180, at R1 4193. Yesterday's high-low was 4193 and a low was 4176. So if we did take out S1, that would suggest we'd go to S2 to 4172, and as in the futures, S1, R1 are pivot numbers. Just because we're in such a narrow range, we penetrate through 4193, which was also yesterday's high. We should see R2, R3, 4200, 4208. On the downside at penetration 4180, then we're looking at 4172. I don't think we can get to an S3 on the downside. Depending on the news and how the Fed has received, maybe we'll see some kicked up volatility. With the PPMs expanding on the futures, it's likely that we'll see an upside bias for today. Next market that I'll cover is the NASDAQ. It is up 9 handles overnight, 13,962. As we look at the market grid for today, there's a couple elements that need to be watched. 13,925 is the 10-peri moving average. It is actually turning up at 0.12 as on PPM1, PPM2, 0.37. So we should hold this level, but we're still looking at an S1 R2 level today, which would be 13,909, which would be a slight penetration of the 10-peri moving average, and the upside would be 14,045. As in the S&P futures, R1, S1 are the key levels to watch. The pivot points will be 13,909 on the downside and 13,996 on the upside. The final market I'll cover tonight is gold. Gold is seeing a little bit of pressure overnight. We're able to gap underneath that 10-peri moving average that has been holding for the last several days. But overall, the pattern still is quite bullish. PPM1 is up at 0.18, PPM2 0.14, and PPM3 0.04. So they're not a robust uptrend here. But at worst case, we should hold the 1754 level, which would be the 21-peri moving average. We look at the market grid for today. We've traded down to S3. R1 is 1783, S3 is 1765, the low 1765.50. So we should hold this level and probably see it rebound back towards that 1777 level. It still overall looks fairly stable. I don't see any major issues. This will complete the video tonight. Thank you for watching. Make sure to come to the live stream. I'll go through great detail tomorrow. And also, if you don't have time to be there, there will be a replay that you'll be able to watch tomorrow afternoon. Thank you for watching. Hi, my name is Bob Kendall. You know me from the Kendall Report. I help you manage your portfolios and protect your wealth. The way that I do that is through our software platform, Portfolio Expert. This platform is amazing. It covers over 16,400 symbols. You can build as many portfolios as you want to manage and to protect your wealth. What you'll find by setting up a trial of our software is that we're going to train and walk you through every step to become what we refer to as an ETF hacker. We're going to show you how to take your favorite ETF and make it something really special and it's owned by you. We also call this building your own personal funds. And what that means is you're going to build your own personal mutual fund. It is all yours. You can pick the stocks, and the software will walk you from A to Z, telling you when to buy and sell, how much to buy and sell, including helping you to protect your capital through the signals that when the market rolls over will get you to cash and out of harm's way. It's very simple from here. It's just sign up. Click the link down below. We'll get you in our system. As soon as you get in there, we will notify you of a live webinar to walk you through every step so you understand exactly how to use this product and how to manage your portfolios and protect your wealth. Sign up now. Just click the link below.